Hey guys, it's Matt. I'm looking at CNN.com right now. It says 7 takeaways from Trump's address to Congress. 7 takeaways. No, I didn't watch it. Are you kidding? No, I didn't watch it. And these are the current subscriber numbers and count as of this morning. Many months they don't even send me an update because it goes negative. When it goes negative, they don't even bother to send the email. But this is the screenshot from what's called the dashboard. I've never seen it more than minus 50. Usually it's like a plus 25 to minus 15, something. That's whenever I look at it. I really don't care. But as I've said many times, I could just post my homepage on a broken iPad with a crack down the front, throw it out into a West Philadelphia park, and just kids, I guess, fighting over it or whatever. I would get more subscribers by just the homepage, Quantum of Conscious, flashing up in front of the kids fighting over it than I'm getting. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, this is the greatest street credibility, though, of all time. If my subscriber numbers were racing past 250, then 300,000, you might say, what is he saying that Not Nilk likes? But this is a reverse psychology. Not Nilk's listening to me say that, so now to get back at me, so I lose your confidence, it's going to raise my subscriber numbers up to 400,000. So expect that to happen based on the reverse psychology that I just told you it's AI bot. Also, this happened. Your video is blocked. You get some big flashing red notification. You go to your channel thinking it might not even be there. Your video, Not Nilk, stop insulting our intelligence with submarines, is blocked due to one or more copyright claims. Oh, it's not a strike and you doesn't affect. Oh, you can still post to your channel. Your whole livelihood isn't just wiped out. Thanks for coming. Well, they said it was a copyright. You think it was? Was it really? I took a few clips from some 2-bit old documentary or something, and even when they played music in the there was actually some brontosaurus sounds I put over the music, just a second here or there. Really? Was that it? It was just fine for several days. I don't know. Might not have been copyright. Might have been the subject matter, but I guess I'm just one of those people. This came to me this morning in the top right and looked exciting. Wow! Upgrade to Mac OS Sequoia for free? Discover new features to unlock my productivity and creativity on Mac. Here's how many people actually have unlocked new productivity and creativity from updating to their new OS. Nobody ever has. All it does is just change where you used to know to go to certain places. How do I change the sound on this? This all changed. And then even Windows is begging me to upgrade to a Windows 11 on my damn laptop. And I said, Greg knows computers. And everybody says, don't do it. It's always a new nightmare. This reality is such an absolute joke at this point. Reality, Not Nilk, stop running the same scripts on people over and over again. That's what we're going to talk about today. The heart of the script. And back to this just for 1 minute. It was Frank who gave me the most stern warning about this. It seems like, oh, Matt, they have you in a box. And if people would just be able to see your videos, oh, you millions and millions of subscribers. And Frank would say, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're talking about personal responsibility, Matt. You're talking about leave all the addiction behind and the trick and analyzing whether, is there somebody on wires on the ISS? All that bullshit that the conspiracy generation machine throws at us. Frank says, Matt, you're talking about leaving the bullshit and the addiction to fear behind. Truthers don't want that. That's their role in the script. You're talking about part 2 of the work. And you're not giving people the answers. It's up to them to determine for the most part what part 2 is once you leave the trick behind. Frank says, people don't like that, Matt. You're going to lose people like shit through a goose is basically what he said. This isn't all like, oh, woe is me. Oh, if people could just see my videos. Oh, millions and millions of people could come into the light. No. Frank would say, could be allowing anybody, not anybody like in the normal world, like my friend Tony, but the other truther type people probably do have the opportunity to come in here and they don't like what they hear. There's no fear addiction here. This guy's not talking about the end of the world? I'm out of here. Fuck this quantum of conscious asshole. That's what Frank would say. He's actually talking about leaving it behind in a half page. Frank said, that doesn't get you new subscribers, Matt. It's not, and I never said it was the woe, but I'm just saying, I want to be very clear. I agree with Frank. It's not, woe is me, look at the box that they're keeping me in. I'd have millions and millions of people. No, in terms of what we talk about here, what's so interesting, guys, is the group we have is This is the group. I mean, there's others, I guess, that don't go on the internet, and all people around the world. There's several 100,000 more people like us, but there are not many people like us on this place called Earth. This proves it. This number hasn't gone anywhere for 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2025, don't wear sunscreen. The healthful effects of the sun needs to hit your skin directly. And I actually opened my mouth into the sun. Wonder if that, for my teeth and back of my throat, I wonder if Thaddeus would agree with that, but that's for another conversation. What do we do, class of 2025, when we realize that basically the invasion of the Body Snatchers movie is literally real? I make a lot of jokes. I'm in no way joking. What do we do when we realize we live inside of a gigantic script, and almost everyone around us is participating in that script? And that leads us to the most important point. And one person from Skokie just got up off their couch and is yelling at me, Matt, oh, you're not special. You better make sure you're not living your part of the script, which is to be the conspiracy person, which is to push back. In the Matrix, they were allowed to get out of the Matrix. They thought they were free. You go ahead, go off into your sewers. You're free. They weren't free. They were still participating, just at another layer in the Matrix. So I'm going to say everybody around us is body snatched. Everybody around us is participating and living out a script, and they don't even know it. They don't see the invisible or etheric cue cards. Then we have to turn the attention right to ourselves. Are we doing the same thing? I'm going to sit here and think about that for a minute. Back to the movie The Matrix for a minute. Most people watching this for the first time, or at the first level as we did watching it maybe originally in 1999, believe these people got out. Oh, they were rescued. They got out of the pods. They didn't get out of anything. They simply joined a life or a crew or a different existence in a different part of the Matrix that is actually just as important, extremely important to the whole Matrix system for the anomalous code to be reset. So how many of us in our truth research community are falling into this? And until we are absolutely sure, we have to assume that we are not out either. It seems like we're out. It seems like those people in the Nebuchadnezzar ship were out. They got rescued from a pod. Now they have frayed sweaters. They're in this horrible ship. They're being hunted down. They eat nothing but this crappy stuff like tasty wheat or whatever. He said, how do you know what chicken tastes like? They're out. But this is, at least they're free, they say. They were never free. They were just in a different level of the Matrix, potentially still inside the simulation. They believe they were free. We have to be pretty sure, and until we're sure, which we're not, we have to assume, you and I, that we are still, in this analogy, in the Matrix, meaning we have to assume in some way, even though it seems like we've completely broken free, and it seems like we've separated from the illusion completely, we always have to circle back on this daily, weekly, and say, am I really out? What am I doing that's actually serving it? What more can I do to separate from it? We never can relax in this regard, in my opinion. Everybody on that Nebuchadnezzar ship thought they were out. And you think the Notnilk is some a little weak adversary? No, this is a worthy, hardcore, pipe-hidden adversary, evil genius times 1,000,000 to a factor of 10. It has means at its disposal that we can't even fathom. No, we have to assume we're still serving it. And whenever we get a hint or a insight as to how we are serving its needs, we better stop and learn and learn our lesson real fast. Now, if somebody's yelling at me from the other side of the spectrum, I hear you. Say, Matt, what more can we do? You'd say every other video, we've seen through the trick. It's all a trick. Norm the Bathtub Rebel, what part's a trick? All of it. We're separating. We're doing affirmations saying, I won't give it my energy. What more can we do? I hear you. I hear you. Maybe there is no more we can do. I'm just saying I'm not going to take this armor off. I'm not going to say, I've won. Oh, I've separated 100%. I've done everything. No. I look back at these truth drop movies like The Matrix in this one example. There's many more. A group is meant to believe they've won. Yet there's one thing missing, and I'm never going to assume and put my feet up and smoke a cigar in this regard. But I hear you. We see through the trick, right? We do whatever we can. We see the straw man. We say, that's not me. What more can we do? Maybe not too much more. Other than someday I get the huge scroll that says not milk free zone has been presented to us somewhere in the middle of Siberia, and then we'll take it. So perhaps the greatest lesson from the Matrix to specifically people like us, not to your neighbor or the guy down the street, the message to people like us is whenever there's a choice presented that's associated with the screen, the not milk, the outer ring of reality, the Matrix, there's never a win, of course. People at the first level watching, I guess me in 1999, watching The Matrix in 1999. Oh, the winners are those that took the red pill. They're the winners, like Neo the One, and they're going to escape. And there's never a win when the choice comes from the screen or the outer ring or the Matrix. It's the end of War Games is the best example of all time from a movie perspective. The best, there is no choice. It's just, you just don't play. And all of this leads to the only important question here. I can only give you my opinion. We'll never know. I'll never know. I can give you my opinion, which I'll do now. Somebody may say, well, Matt, do you need a complete and total separation from the not milk, from the Matrix to get out of here, to win, to escape what people consider to be a prison planet? Or my opinion, no. And remember, it's up to us. There is no metric or score that it maintains in its hand. So outside judge. No, we don't have to be perfect. We have to be correct in our mindset. That's exactly what it wants. That's actually a form of karma. Going into your death thinking, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe I gave a little bit too much credibility and credence to the straw man, or maybe I didn't totally separate. I should have probably lived in that cardboard box on that mountain at the last 3 months of my life, and I chose to live in my luxurious apartment. I'm not sure I completely separated. Would Matt say I completely separated? I don't think we need to completely separate. It will never be perfect here. Going into the restroom in the morning after getting out of bed in the morning, that reminds us how low we are here. As I've said many times, the low to a degree is to be embraced. That's part or the necessary part of this experience. It's the confidence that, wow, I saw through the trick. I did a whole lot to separate. Was I perfect? No, I don't have to be. Well, why don't you have to be? Because I said so. I don't have to be. I have a confidence. I'm done enough here. We're not doing this again. My gosh, we saw through the trick. I did, and then I spent so much time doing that. Why I'm here, why I incarnated. Part 2, the work, the worry about yourself activities. I got over all this petty shit. I started to appreciate and see things, the world in a different way. I started to love certain things that I never loved. I spent, but you go in, oh, I don't think I spent enough time on part 2, the work. Another decade, and I could have won. That's all bullshit, in my opinion. Just a confidence. That did I do everything I possibly? No. Well, so what? We're low creatures here. So what? Did you do enough? That's up to you. That's not up to some little jerk with a scoreboard or some Anubis is going to come. I want to weigh your heart against you, Matt. I'll weigh your heart against the feather. Or you, Anthony? What's your real name, Anubis? Anthony? Are you Anthony from South Philly? You gonna weigh my heart against a feather? We gotta get a cheesesteak first. Anubis. Go fuck yourself. It's up to me if I've decided if I've done enough. Bill, I went into the Mac for a while. Is this the most recent version of all the dark entities that are waiting for me in the light? Or some are still alive, so I guess they will be waiting for me in the light, trying to block me or something, or to beat me when I die. They have bicycle chains and pipes. See, this, if anybody's new here, these are the main dark entities that I've pissed off, and some of them are already waiting for me. Bill, is this the most recent version? If I remember correctly, there's several different versions. It was, I think, Madame Blavatsky was the first one where I said, I've pissed her off so bad, she's probably waiting for me in the light. But then I think I said the same thing about Gene Cernan, and then that caused, Gene Cernan was one of the, really kind of a forgotten astronaut, who he had more fraudulent stories than almost anybody. I think that inspired Bill when I did the Gene Cernan NASA stuff to make the poster. And then we just kept adding, as I offended more and more dark entities, they're waiting for, no, let's go through some of them. Henry Kissinger, no doubt about it. He's probably there. What would, you think he's with maybe he's holding a giant 2x4 or something. Buddha? The Buddha's there. I pissed him off. And there's different iterations of the Buddha. I pissed them all off. But they're pacifists, Bill. They're not gonna do anything to me. They're just gonna, I guess, take pleasure in watching others beat me. The popes, all the popes. There's Blavatsky. I'm working left. Oh, there's Dante. That's Dante, that villain. and his what the Divine Comedy. What a truth drop! The Divine Comedy. The truth is right in it. Dante's Inferno. The church, the Catholic Church, was so happy to have a document where they could just use that document for about 500 years to scare the piss out of people about, you better put your quarters and your dollars in this basket or you're going to that place Dante wrote about. Oh, look, Dante told you about all the levels of hell. Oh, I have a question, sir. How does Dante know what hell is? Because he came from there. That's why nobody tells you that. What did we, from Coming to America, the church, we appreciate the kind of change that jingles, but we'd rather have the type that folds. Put your 20s in this basket or you're going to go where Dante says you're going to go. What a villain he is. Dante's there. By the way, Dante, if you're dressed like that in the light, you could beat me all. I'm just going to laugh at you. What are you wearing? Who dressed you? Anderson Cooper, as far as I know, is an entity that still roams the earth. Musk still roams the earth. And the bottom left, I never noticed before, Bill, that's George Soros on some sort of demonic unicorn. Now that he might never be in the light because it's some sort of undead ghoul. I think he's expected to be on the earthly plane for another 500 years. Bill, to the right of Buddha, there above Anderson Cooper, is a priest in a black with a cross. Who is that? I don't remember offending anybody. I've offended thousands of people, so I don't remember them all. I'm sure I don't know who that's supposed to be, Bill, standing there with the Pope. Who else? Bottom right is Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, who's supposed to be Jacob Rothensteiner, don't want a banner ad. What's Liberace, top right, Bill? I don't ever remember offending Liberace. And I don't think he'd be too tough in the light either. He wouldn't be able to block me very long if I wanted to get in. By the way, I don't know if we'll talk about it here, but I don't think all of my existence comes down to a choice of whether I go in or out of the light or not. I think that's ridiculous. Everything we've ever done, it all comes down to whether go in and out of the light. Oh, sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Everything we've ever done, everything we've ever experienced, how many ever times we've done this earthly plane, everything we've ever learned, it all just comes down to go in or not of the light. Don't go into the light. Really? That's it? Oh, I don't think so. I don't think it would be that simple. But we'll talk about that maybe some other time. And there to the left of Kissinger is the Queen. Yeah, she belongs. Kennedy's in the front, pissed him off. And then, of course, Anubis is there. He's the leader of the pack. He's there with his scales. And what is it? Anubis, what you want to what? What did you say? What kind of dog? You put pure breed dog face? You want to weigh my heart against what? You want to weigh my heart against a feather? Hey, Anubis, you idiot jerk. I'm an etheric being now. I'm dead. What heart are you talking about? I'm an etheric being. There's no heart to present to you. I got nothing to put on your dumb scale. Maybe that's the trick of Anubis. Maybe we just figured it out. I doubt it. But people are so attached to the old world that they carry their body of sorts through into the moment of death, and they actually can put their heart on a scale or something. I don't know. Maybe that's the trick. To realize that this is not you. What you are here, the straw man, your first name, last, this is really not you. This is a temporary experience. You're an etheric being of soul and spirit. First thing I would say to Anubis is, I got nothing to offer you. I'm an etheric being. There's nothing I can put up on a scale. What are you talking about? What? You have the worms or something? You should go seek Frontline. I don't know where that came from, but I was sitting here for a second thinking people from Australia or certain parts of Belgium or something, they don't know what the brand name Frontline is, or it might not be in your country. It's a flea and tick treatment for dogs. Oh, on the top right it says, and lice too. So there ain't going to be no weighing a heart against a feather. Other people try to bribe Anubis with gifts. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring Frontline flea and tick drip for Anubis. You've been scratching. Look at you. Look what I got, Anubis. You're going to let me pass. I got something nobody's ever brought. Frontline flea, tick, and lice drip. You've been scratching. You got big patches, scratches. Anubis, I'll tell you what. You step aside. I'll hand you the Frontline. Other than that, I'm going to toss it. I'm going to toss it off the edge of this cliff into the magma. You take one step towards me, I drop the Frontline. You want this Frontline? Let me pass. Let's revisit the initial theme of this video and conclude, because it's very important. I don't think there's many conversations we're going to have that are more important than this, that no matter how much we think we are separating from the ship of fools, no matter how much we think we are winning, we can never put our feet up and smoke the cigar. I must always assume, even if I'm wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, I must assume that at some level we are still being played by the not milk and still doing what it wants, in some ways still fulfilling a role, even in our truth research, a role that it wants. Again, back to the Matrix, at every single layer in every single movie for the first three, everybody watching, oh, Neo's one. He's becoming the one, his abilities. Neo, through all three movies, was played by the Oracle and the Architect working together. He was needed to reset the Matrix via the anomalous code or whatever they say that Neo carried. He did exactly what the Oracle and the Architect wanted, although the Architect said to the Oracle, you played a dangerous game at all. They were together at the end. They were one. So are we doing the same thing for the not milk? I hope not. I don't see how we are, but I'm certainly never going to say we've won and taken that off the table. Now, if we look at headlines, like, let's just say I spend 5 minutes looking at headlines, and is that, oh, that's giving all the energy back to, is it really? No, I don't think so. Laughing at the headlines. We've done affirmations years ago saying the not milk can't take our energy anymore. We're not giving it anymore. Why? Because I said so. I don't think it's I think just you can't just hide out in a cardboard box and, oh my gosh, my eyes can never even roll across the front of a newspaper. No. Again, we don't have to be perfect. But no, I didn't watch last night. I just wanted to mention top left, back to, the pedestrian things we talk about. This just bugs the heck out of me, how everybody buys this. Top left says, Supreme Court rejects Trump's request to keep billions in foreign aid frozen. So the USAID money continues to flow. See, under the Obama administration, I remember didn't know 1/1000th what I think I know about reality now. But I remember clearly watching a few of Obama's presentations, speeches, news conferences, and coming to the conclusion that they can just lie and say anything with no basis whatsoever, and people believe it. And that's generally what's going on here. There's always a court that will block Trump. Why all the things that Trump was going to do as far as Trump's supporters are concerned, they just presented that the courts can just block it. The Supreme Court can block it. The Supreme Court can step in and say, no, the money will continue to flow to USAID. It's a complete trashing of what they call the Constitution. They just make it up. Literally there's no authority for courts to, if the executive branch controls the purse to, say, certain NGOs, PVOs, nonprofits that get money, the courts have no say over that. I mean, I'm no constitutional scholar. I assure you, the courts have no say on that. If the courts cannot just say, oh, the money continues. The courts, that's what they present to the Trump voters. He was going to do this for us, but the Democrats, through the courts, they're able to block him. It's the same script they ran 8 years ago. It's incredible. And the Constitution doesn't say anything about this. It's just literally all made up, how the courts can step in and block everything. We were going to do it, but the Ninth Circuit Court of whatever put a stop to it. It's just everything we learned about civics. I know, I hear you. This is my first conspiracy video. Matt, the Constitution never existed. Yeah, this thing called not milk's been here for thousands of years. I know. Sometimes we have to just go with it. But it's incredible how even to they're just making shit up on the fly and just changing the rules on the fly. And it's just, to those in the ship of fools, it's just completely normal. Oh, he was going to do so much, but the liberal courts kept blocking. Oh, boy. Thanks for listening.